Hello, can everybody see me? Can anybody say hello so it's I know that I'm live? Hello and welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. I hope you can see me. How is everybody? Am I coming along loud and clear? Hey, great. I wasn't sure whether I was going live or not. That's great. How is everybody this evening? Okay. Sorry about the little hiccup there. I just wanted to make sure that the new software was working properly. Pablo, yes, it's a nice surprise on a Saturday evening. You're going to get two doses of me this week. You're going to get tonight now, and then you're going to get tomorrow. And one of the reasons why I came in to say partly what tomorrow's live stream is about. We've got a special guest. Rob says Steve is God. Yeah, right. Okay. Thanks, Rob. I love you too. A special guest coming on to tell us a story about how they got upstairs in Graceland during a tour. Quite a few years ago now, I must admit. So I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. So that person will come on and say the story about how he got up there and what he did while he was up there and so forth. So it's going to be quite interesting. Also, another thing is we are going to change the format of the quiz come the new year. So come the 1st of January, we're going to change the quiz format. Instead of it just being 3 questions, and then I say who the winner is at the end of the episode, it's not going to be Elvis Fan of the Week. It's going to be Elvis Fan of the Month. So basically, we will sort of aggregate all the scores over the month, and then whoever has the most wins or the most right answers, we will give that the prize to that person for Elvis Fan of the Month. So it's not as quick and as really brutal as what a Fan of the Week would be. I mean, it's just 3 questions and it's all over. So we can sort of roll it over the 4 weeks of the month, and we will have a prize. We will have a prize for the Fan of the Month, and you will hopefully see that the first month's prize tomorrow, because my special guest has offered to donate the very first prize. He offered it to me, and I said, well, thank you very much. That's very, very kind. But I'll tell you what I will do. I will the prize for the Fan of the Month. And it's a really great prize as well, and you'll see that tomorrow. So it starts back over in 2021. It starts back over in 2021. But I'm gonna do a Fan of the Week for the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna do one tomorrow, and then I won't be seeing you again after tomorrow until after Christmas. So I must remember to wish you all a Merry Christmas tomorrow. Another thing I wanted to tell you as well, if you're watching in England, Hey, I'm back, am I? Hey, sorry about that. I don't actually know what happened. I beg your pardon. I'm really, really sorry. I think the internet could have dropped. Um, so, yeah, my apologies. Does anybody remember where I was? Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I was going to say that we have uh, some. If you are a viewer in England, the UK, right? Um, we've got some Elvis stuff coming up, and basically what it is on Sky Arts and BBC Four as well, and also BBC Two. There's quite a lot of stuff going on for us to watch on television. There's Viva Las Vegas. There's this comeback special. Viva Las Vegas is on December the 21st on BBC Two at 10:50 a.m. We've got Elvis: The Final Hours, the comeback special, Aloha from Hawaii, a whole load of stuff. The Rebirth of the King is on BBC Four. Christmas Day, we've got The Searcher, I believe, parts one and part two on Sky Documentaries. So I just wanted everybody to basically know that if you're in the UK, to look out for all those as well. So that's December the 21st, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. If you just check your TV guide. Unfortunately, I know there's loads of people there watching in the US, and I don't think you're going to see any of those. They haven't played Elvis on tour for a while. No, that's true. But they might be able to. They might be showing it on TCM. So I would definitely check out TCM as well, and so forth. So, what is everybody hoping for Santa Claus to bring them for Christmas? Any Elvis related stuff? What does everybody ask for? Let's see. Yeah, Richard, it is. It's an Elvis binge. It's about time. It's way overdue putting stuff on like that for Elvis. Jake says he's asked for the live 1969 box set. Couldn't be better than that. Charo was on TCM. Yeah, that's right. I recorded that. Destined to Die Young. That's a book by Sally Hodell, isn't it? I think. Greg says a lottery win. Lower from Hawaii jumpsuit. Yeah. No more COVID virus. Oh well, that's on the way out. Hopefully, another few months, and that'll be on the way out. Um, okay. Yeah, that's just reminded me. Somebody said that they bought themselves an Elvis blanket and a cup. Don't forget to check out the new range of Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel merchandise, because people were asking about it. So there's a mug, there's a T-shirt in various colors, and there's long sleeve T-shirt, and then there's a hoodie as well. So if anybody wants to feel like treating themselves and also supporting this channel, it'd be great, because I do get a small percentage of each sale. It's not a lot, but it's a small percentage. Uh, Yeah, Richard's buying the book Destined to Die Young. Vincenzo says he wants an Elvis ornament. Okay. Yeah, Jake, it said that you'd followed me, but I couldn't find you. It says you were on Twitter, but for some reason I couldn't find you, so I don't know where you'd gone. I got a message this morning, but I couldn't find you. I must try again. Viva Las Vegas is on TV New Year's Eve, Eastern Canada. Yeah, well, Donna, you'll probably get your wish to go to Graceland one day. I'm sure you will. Yeah, I got my magazine in the post this morning as well, Rob. Yeah, yeah. I must look again, Jake, but I couldn't find you. Is it under Jake Bailiff? Is it? Yeah, you need all the Elvis movies on DVD. That's the only way to watch them. And there's a couple that's on Blu-ray. I think King Creole is on Blu-ray, as far as I know. Anybody else can tell me. Um, if you haven't already, please don't forget to just click the subscribe button and then the bell, and then that'll show that you're actually that'll give you notifications when I post new videos and so forth. So don't forget, tomorrow there will be the quiz, and there will be a special guest who is going to tell us how they got up the stairs to Elvis's bedroom and what they did when they were there, and what happened when he was caught. It's an interesting story. I'll leave it up to you to decide what you think. Then I'll after the person has told their story, I'll throw it open. Oh, what's on the 21st? I think it's Viva Las Vegas, Dennis, at 10 to 11 in the morning on BBC Two. So, yeah, after he tells us, after they tell the story, we'll throw it open to a Q&A, and you can ask him some questions about it. Okay, so I've just told you it's a male anyway, but that's besides the point. So you know, I'm open to you know, I've got an open mind about it. I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm not going to do any judging, but I will leave it open to you to make up your own mind. Ask the person any questions you want. As far as I know, he is open to questions and answers, so that's no problem. Plus Rocking New Year's Eve 1976 on DVD. I watched that the other day. It's called The Final Countdown. It might be called something else. It goes under quite a few banners. But what a fabulous concert that was. Hard to believe that we lost him just 8 months after that. He looked great. He was good and slim. He had the Black Phoenix jumpsuit on, high energy. His voice was just absolutely fantastic. When he sat down at the piano and he did Rags to Riches, it just brilliant. You know, it was almost like he was turning a corner after a few health problems during 1976, and it just wasn't to be. But I agree, it's a great concert. I hope I'm still a good steady stream here. I hope you're not losing me again. He was on fire in December 76. You're right. By the way, another thing I want to say is I am getting an awful lot of messages from fans of this channel, or viewers of this channel, not so much fans of this channel. And it's very heartwarming, the messages I get. They're very kind, and you know, people are saying thanks for doing and all this, what you're doing. But the thing is I'm just doing it for Elvis, and also I just love it. I just absolutely love every moment of doing it. Did anybody, or if anybody wants to give their opinion on the interview I posted on Tuesday about Sandy Miller? If you haven't checked it out yet, it's on this channel, and it's also on podcast if you want to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and the like. And let me know what you think. She got very close to Elvis. She became a very close friend of Elvis, and she got into his homes. She was invited into his homes and so forth. And I was just blown away by Sandy, and it was quite emotional at times as well near the end. I must admit, I felt quite emotional when she was talking about the last time she saw him and so forth, the last time they met. Hi, Danny. Danny, I hope you're still coming on to show us your gems. Danny Hingley has got some really fabulous stuff for us to show us, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I think, Danny, you're penciled in for the 27th, I believe, which is the first live stream after Christmas. Is it a week today is Christmas Day? That's why it's coming around really fast. Sandy is a nice person, yes. Yeah. You know, I can honestly say that this last year, as bad as it's been, virus-wise and so forth, I've spoken to Sandy, lovely person. I've spoken to Barbara Hearn, another beautiful lady, Cynthia Pepper, and I've got a few more lined up for January who were close-ish to Elvis, and I just can't wait to talk to them. And also, I've also hopefully another co-star, Elvis co-star. But again, she hasn't said yes or no yet. I think she's ruminating on it. I think she's thinking about it. Christmas is Friday, is it? Right. So Christmas was a week yesterday. I love the story when one of the Memphis Mafia girlfriends brought her sister to Palm Springs to meet Elvis. The MM guys were being kind of rude, yes, and Elvis went and took her on a tour of her home. Yeah, that was a particularly nice part of the interview, I thought, when Sandy said about that and how Elvis picked up on it. And he didn't even have to say a word, but he knew it. He let them know exactly what he thought of them by just looking at them. Yeah, Marie's the name. Great interview. Like you said, quite emotional at times. Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I agree. I finished work yesterday. That's why it's a party as well. I can, I can celebrate. I haven't got to do any work for my company. I'll be doing work on the channel, but I won't be doing it for the company I work for until at least the 4th of January. So yeah, Elvis is our lives is right. I often say sometimes my work gets in the way of doing my Elvis channel, but of course my job, my full-time job pays the bills. So I couldn't do without that work. Okay, so it's going to be tomorrow is going to be 3 questions again. Um, and we'll, like I say, we'll do the 3 questions for fun tomorrow. We'll do the 3 questions probably on the 27th after we've spoken to Danny, if Danny's still coming on. Uh, and then from the 1st of January, or whatever the first um, Sunday is in January, we'll start the quiz of the month. Okay, and there will be a monthly prize. Okay, uh, kindly donated by my guest tomorrow. He'll show you that. And you know, it's a nice prize. It's definitely worth having. It's definitely worth winning. That's for sure. Yeah, Rob, I know we need Christmas music. The only thing is, a lot of people have said, you know, why don't you play music in the background, or why don't you play Elvis music intro or Elvis music outro? The only thing is, this video would be blocked. It would be blocked. A couple of weeks ago, I was playing a video and asking people what he was singing, and he was singing "Make the World Go Away" from "That's the Way It Is," and unbeknownst to me, as soon as I stopped live streaming, it was blocked. The whole thing was blocked. Okay, people could see it live, but they couldn't show it on replay. Even though it didn't have any sound, they still blocked the video. So you've got to be so careful, unfortunately, what you play. I'd love to have Elvis in the background now, you know, singing Elvis songs. It would just make it, but unfortunately, it does. It's not that easy. Cat Girl Blue, do you have any kids? I do have kids. I have twin daughters, uh, 2 twin daughters. They will be 16 on the 28th of December, just after Christmas. And no, they're not Elvis fans, unfortunately. Uh, that's the way it goes. No. Vincenzo, yeah, they blocked it on copyright infringement. You've got to be so careful what you post on YouTube. And I actually had to remove. I think it was about 103, 104 videos from my channel because they were blocked, and they requested that I take them down, which I did. That was the week that I won Fan of the Week. That's right, George. Yeah, there might even be a way of retrospectively giving the Fans of the Week a prize. I'll have to look into it. I know I've got a list of the people that won, so it might be fair just for you to get something as well. Yeah, David, I agree. It's good just to have chats like this on a Saturday evening. Everybody wants to, I'm sure a lot of people want to talk um, about Elvis to like-minded fans. I've often thought about, going to, these fan get-togethers and things like that. The fan club get-togethers. Of course, it's impossible at the moment, but once the restrictions start to lift and things get back to a little bit more like normal, it'd be great to go to a fan club convention or a fan gathering or something like that. In the UK, I know the UK fan club do them, and hopefully, yeah, in a few more months, things will start to get back to normal. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the Aloha show is on YouTube. How does this work? Well, it's obvious that some channels are allowed to broadcast copyright material. Maybe they, after a certain number of subscribers or so forth, they're allowed to do it, or maybe they even pay a license. I'm not too sure how it works, but there are definitely channels that do, get permission to broadcast copyright material. Um, it is a funny thing. I thought Are You Lonesome Tonight was really put together well. Had new interview with cousin Billy Smith. Yeah, Dave, you've said that. Yeah, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll show on UK TV. Um, I think it's really, really good, Helen, that Lisa is spending Christmas at Graceland. Um, you know, I've actually been saying for the last few days, when people have been saying, "Oh, Lisa is staying or spending time at Graceland this Christmas," but she does that quite a bit. This won't be the first time she spent Christmas at Graceland, and she also spends time at Graceland during the year as well. Certain times, it's very, very easy, especially after the tours have finished and under the cover of darkness, to get in and out of Graceland without anybody knowing. So. Yeah, but it is good. She needs something like that because I'm sure she's very, very fragile at the moment, and the first Christmas without Ben will be very, very hard. I would imagine. Um, it's been a very, very sad year for the Presleys. I agree. Engelbert's just released a new recording of Blue Christmas done as a Texas two-step. I must check that out. Just for curiosity more than anything else. But yes, I do agree. I would imagine Riley will be there as well. I would imagine it's the whole family. If anybody saw the Oprah special a few years ago, I mean, it was the whole family were gathered round the table in the dining room. So, yeah, I would imagine it's something they need. Um, Danny Smith, I actually approached Billy and Joe Smith to see if they would speak to me, and they didn't answer. So I don't know, Jackie. Yeah, it's strange. I might try again because I'd love to speak to Billy. Billy was extremely close to Elvis. He was there at the beginning. He was there right till the very, very end. Uh, how did you get to speak to Billy, Jake? Was it at one of the fan gatherings or something? Yeah, Dave says Billy says he's done. I got the impression as well that he's quit kind of talking to anybody else now, and he just does the Memphis Mafia kid, which is fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would imagine that's one of the reasons why he didn't answer is because basically he's done talking to anybody else now. I know he said he didn't. He'll never get tired of talking about Elvis, but he's tired of you know probably telling the same stories over and over and over again. Maybe. Yeah, yeah. Billy said he's finished with Elvis interviews, and you can see why. Yeah, yeah. He is getting up there. He's fairly senior now. Nice fella, but you can't win them all. You can't win them all. I have quite a few on my list to try and interview anyway. So I'm definitely not going to be short of people to talk to. That's for sure. I mean, I'm hopeful I'm going to get somebody, in the near future, very close to Elvis. Very close. I'm not going to count my chickens yet, because that would be a silly thing to do. But yeah, there's at least a few people yet that are on the list who would be very, very, very interesting for fans and myself. Okay, right. Yeah, I mean, they all have stories to tell. That's for sure. Yes, Dennis, I've seen the shuffle dancing to Elvis on YouTube. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Marie's the name of his latest flame. Yeah, it's very, very good. I like it. I like it. Okay. Any more comments or questions? Any more comments or so forth on the? Yeah, Doug, we need to get Anne Margaret, definitely. I don't quite know how to contact her though. That's the only thing. I mean, some people have a page, but they very rarely read it, unfortunately. Yeah. Any more thoughts on the Sandy Miller interview? I thought it was extremely good, enlightening. It was quite touching, though, when she talked about the last time she saw him and he waved and said, "Drive carefully." So, yeah, it was. And don't forget, for people in the UK, there's lots of Elvis stuff coming up on BBC Two, BBC Four, Sky Arts. Thanks, Marcia. Thanks. Yeah, I'd love a time machine and meet her, Anne Margaret. I wouldn't actually need a time machine. I would just love to meet her and talk to her about Elvis. Jan M might know how to find Anne Margaret. Yeah, she can. Jan can actually send me an email. Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. Hi from Tennessee. Hi, Leanne. Yeah, she's very respectful. She wants to keep their romance to herself. Yeah, I know she is. She's very respectful. As was Cynthia Pepper, as was Sandy Miller, as was Barbara Hearn. They're all very, very respectful, very lovely women. I found Sandy very, very nice, as I did Barbara Hearn, Cynthia Pepper. Yeah, well, you see, Vincenzo, I know she's on Facebook, but a lot of them don't even, use the page themselves or look at it very, very infrequently. Jan says, I've texted with her PR rep. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we could reach out and just put feelers out and see if she would be interested in talking to me, so that she can, let the fans know how she's doing and so forth. It's not so much me. I just like to be the channel to the fans for these interviews. I don't do it for myself. I do it so you, the listeners, can find out these things and just you can never get enough Elvis. That's what I said to Sandy. Yeah, I was quite interested when Sandy said that she has a load of journals, and if she, maybe she thinks it's too early yet. I don't know, but she could actually make a really, really good book out of those journals, couldn't she? Like Elvis Day to Day or something like that. She says they were quite, quite explicit and quite elaborate. It was, very precise, and there was a lot of information about what he did, what he said, what he was wearing. I mean, if you want to know things like that, it's almost like Elvis Day by Day again, isn't it? Yeah, Lisa says that she would go to Graceland and sleep in her daddy's bed. She might do that this Christmas. You never know, do you? Yeah, I was often thinking about doing a show discussing the differences between the two Aloha shows. Yeah, that would be an idea. If somebody would want to come on and do that. I What I would do is I would watch the rehearsal and then I would watch the broadcast again just to refresh my memory a couple of weeks before. Sorry, Steve, need to leave. You got work in the morning at 7 a.m. Okay, yeah, okay, no problem, Danny. I hope you're going to see me on the 27th anyway, so that we can link up. Yeah, Anne says that she didn't know she was Charlie Hodge's girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. She dated Charlie. Yeah, and it was a funny thing, wasn't it? Um, the way Charlie said, "If you're just dating me so that you can see Elvis, it's not going to work." And she turned around to him and said, "Well, I've already met him." So I think Charlie was a bit insecure about that. Yeah, Vincenzo says he likes the second concert. Well, there's some parts of the rehearsal which I remember being actually better than the broadcast one. So yeah, that's a good idea. I might do a yeah, Dave. There was a rehearsal which was taped for safety in case there was a problem with the broadcast on broadcast night. So there is this one called known as the rehearsal show, and then there's the actual one that's the Hello from Away. You can tell just at first glance which is which if they show a clip of it. His hair is very very different in the rehearsal. He personally, I think he needed a haircut. And if you look at the arrival when he gets out of the helicopter, you can. I always think, goodness me, his hair is way too long. It doesn't suit him. And he must have thought the same because on watching back the rehearsal tape, he got Patty Perry to restyle and cut his hair, and his hair does look a lot better in the actual broadcast one. Yeah, Marcia, the books that Sandy mentioned, the photo books, I think they might be out of print. Although you might get them on eBay, you might get them second hand. Both shows are on YouTube. Yeah, they are. And also, I mean, if anybody's got the special edition DVD box set, there's two discs, and one is the rehearsal and one is the broadcast, and then there's also extras as well. Uh, Patty Parry is the girl, I believe, who cut Elvis's hair in the 60s and 70s. In the 70s, styled his hair, along, of course, with Larry Geller. Larry did it in the 60s. But Pat Parry. Yeah, Richard says, I'm a woman and I loved his hair in the rehearsal. Yeah, you see, I didn't. I just thought it was just too long. Um, there's another haircut which I really don't like, unfortunately. I'm not criticizing Elvis, don't get me wrong or anything like that. I mean, he still looked fabulous. He always looked fabulous. But the basin or fringe cut that he had in, was it late 76? Was it November? Maybe somebody can tell me the times and dates because I just haven't got it off the top of my head. But he went to a stage where he had like the almost like a basin cut, and to me it just didn't suit him. I saw some I saw I saw some comments during the week saying that that was the worst haircut he ever had. Is the rehearsal the same length of a lower? Yeah, it's about an hour. It runs about an hour. Um, yeah, it's in some ways it's nearly a carbon copy of the broadcast one. But even the same camera angles and things like that. It was almost like a dry run for the cameramen as well. Um, yeah, but like I say, his hair, I believe his hair was too long. He also made a mistake on a few songs during the rehearsal. He kind of forgot the words to "Burning Love." He he kind of had to improvise for "Welcome to My World." Uh, and they actually had cue cards for a few songs. They definitely had them for Welcome to My World. You can actually, if you're very quick, you can actually see the men holding up the cue cards when they photograph him from behind, and you can also see him looking for the cue cards when he's singing "Burning Love." How much shorter is the rehearsal, Jake? It can only be a minute or two, surely. I'll Remember You was better in the Aloha, the actual broadcast one, I think, than no, Charlie didn't have the cards. No, there's the main camera which shows Elvis from the front. Just below that camera, they had the cards holding it. Steamroller Blues, I think he sings different words. Yes, he did seem a bit more relaxed in the rehearsal show. Well, the only thing is you're saying 15 minutes shorter, but the thing is that's probably because the actual broadcast one ran longer, because did they put the 4 songs in that he recorded after the audience had left? But the actual live concert itself, I can only think, okay, here's Jake. The Aloha is 1 hour 15. Yeah, but is the 15 minutes those 4 extra songs, Jake? The actual concert itself would have been almost identically the same length, which is about an hour, is it? That's what I think. I think the broadcast one is an hour and 15 because of those extra 4 songs he recorded. But when you take those out and you put the 2 concerts one side by side, it's probably only minutes difference. Yeah, well, Vincenzo is saying the actual concert was 62 minutes. I'm pretty sure that the rehearsal and the broadcast one, when you take out those 4 songs, was about 60 minutes. Because they would only have had the satellite for the 65 minutes or whatever, just to give them a little bit of leeway. I don't think they would have had the satellite for an hour and 15 minutes. Because don't forget, the actual Aloha show wasn't broadcast live in the States. It was a delayed broadcast on the 4th of April. So just to clarify, I would imagine that both concerts were about the same length. There was 2 Aloha suits. I know there was 2 Aloha suits. I think Linda was in the audience, I think. Yeah, I thought they had about 60 minutes for the satellite use. So I know what Jake is saying. Yeah, the broadcast one was longer, but it was longer because of those inserts, those 4 inserts they put in. Yeah, it was probably delayed in Italy as well. Yeah. I think the American trilogy. Here we go, Jake. I like Elvis in Hawaii, November 72, the 3 shows he did. Yes. Although he was a bit heavier then, and I think Marty Passetta asked him to lose a little bit of weight. The American trilogy was absolutely fabulous. Elvis's hair in 1969-70 to me was the best. When he covered his ears later on, I didn't like it. Yeah, oh, his hair was definitely fabulous in the '68 special, '69 when he went back to Vegas, and '70 Elvis. That's the way it is. I was going to say, yeah, he had to get a new belt because he gave it to Jack Lord. I was going to say American Trilogy in the broadcast one, to me, was the better of the 2. He went full throttle at it. He just reined it in a little bit on the rehearsal one, but on the actual broadcast, the one that went live to the world, he just really let it go. I liked the Big Hunk as well. I thought Big Hunk was great. Yeah, Rob, he did. He looked beautiful in '68. He did. Vixen says, "Party, woo, yeah." Yeah, that's right, Debbie. Marty Passetta said, he also said, he didn't say it to Elvis, but he said that he wasn't that blown away by the performance. Whether Elvis was a little bit jaded the night he saw him in Honolulu, I don't know. But he definitely said, you need to lose weight, and he thought, this is it. When I said that to Elvis, I thought, That's it. I've lost the gig. And instead, Elvis agreed with him. He says, yeah, I probably do need to lose a little bit of weight. Yeah, he had a great leather suit on the '68 special. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? He actually threw water at Glenn D. Harden, not Charlie. And he's also shown in outtakes of Elvis on tour throwing water at Glenn as well, because it's during Glenn's piano solo that he threw it at Glenn D. Harden. Yeah, Jake is saying the same as me. He threw it at Glenn. Yeah. Yeah, he did, David. He respected Marty's honesty. A lot of people wouldn't have the nerve to have said that to Elvis. You need to lose weight. Not many people said that to Elvis. Yeah, well, this is it, Greg. That's what I always say. You can learn something new about Elvis every day. Wow, Marianne Borg, I'm watching from Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne. Yeah, what time is it in Melbourne? David says there was too many yes men around him. Well, that could have been part of the problem. But the trouble was, a lot of people were scared that if they said no to Elvis, they were gone. Yeah, Doug, he did. In Jacksonville, I think, when they're in a very small dressing room, he throws water on Lamar. In fact, I think Jake put that on his YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean the angle. I mean, when I watch it, I actually see Charlie laughing, and he's laughing in the direction of Glenn, Glenn D. Harden. Uh, Actually, I saw something else coming up on. He did have intestinal problems, George. Yeah, I see something coming up on Jake's channel as well. He's going to be singing. Is it gospel or Christmas or both? Is it, Jake? Coming up? Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow evening? So you can all check out that on Jake's channel. Everything Elvis. Yeah, we might do something on the 8th. I'm not sure when is the 8th. I don't mean when is the 8th. I mean what 7:44 a.m. in Melbourne. Wow, you're up early. I'm just wondering what day the 8th is. We should, maybe try kind of get together because it'll be his birthday. And what would he have been? Would he have been 86? Okay, so there's Jake doing his show at 3 p.m. Pacific time. The 8th is a Friday. Oh, well, yeah, Friday evening. I could do something Friday evening. Does anybody ever notice? I don't know when Elvis started doing it. I think he probably started doing it around the 1972, but I couldn't say hand on heart that's when he started doing it. But when Charlie used to hook the guitar over his head, Elvis would give Charlie a wee bump, just a little bump in the belly with the bottom of the guitar, and it's good to watch out for that every so often to see which concerts he does it in and which he didn't. He definitely does it on the last one filmed, which was the 21st of June in Rapid City. Now I don't mean the 26th, which is the Indianapolis, but the last professionally filmed one for the CBS concert. He definitely bumps in with it. So that's something to watch out for when you're watching an Elvis concert. I think Charlie came to expect it. I think the first time I saw Elvis doing it was probably 72, yeah. Elvis said he was only truly in love with two women. Who do you all think they were? Right, Rain on a Tin Roof. I'm going to give you my... I was going to say professional opinion. I'm going to give you my amateur opinion. One was Gladys, and the other one was, I don't know. It's a toss-up between Priscilla and Anne Margaret. Yeah, David says Mum and Priscilla. Yeah. You see, basically, I'd say probably 3, not 2, which would be obviously Gladys, Priscilla, and Anne Margaret. Yeah, you've got to take into account that Priscilla was the mother of his daughter. Somebody else is saying Gladys and Lisa. So Priscilla doesn't even get a look in there, Richard. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I've said many times that I thought that if Gladys had lived, things would have turned out a lot different. Yeah, I mean, David, that's a very good answer. He loved all women. Yeah, he did. He loved to be around women. He loved to be with women. In fact, I would imagine that he enjoyed women more than he did the men around, the Memphis Mafia, maybe. Yeah, let's not forget Linda Thompson. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about Linda. So I've kind of just insulted Linda there a bit, haven't I? Yeah, because it's hard to believe that he only would have loved 3 women in his life. Yeah. I'm going to do a recap for anybody that's just come in. First of all, don't forget that if you're in the UK, there's a lot of Elvis material being shown on television around about the Christmas period. First of all, actually on the 21st of December, there's Viva Las Vegas on BBC 2. Then on BBC 4, there's an Elvis evening. I believe it's on the 24th, I think. And also BBC 2 are showing Viva Las Vegas. And there's a whole load of Elvis stuff on BBC 4 as well. And Sky Arts. If you are in the UK and you watch Sky Arts, there's a whole load of stuff coming up. Another thing, we're actually going to be starting a Elvis Fan of the Month next year from January. And instead of what I normally do, I'm going to do the last 2 weeks, I think I'm just going to do Elvis Fan of the Week with 3 questions. But after that, we're going to be doing Fan of the Month. And we do aggregate scores, add up all the scores at the end of the month, and whoever's got the most points, they will get a prize at the end of that month. And it will be a nice prize. It's being donated by another Elvis fan who's he was going to give it to me, and I said, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will donate it as a prize. And then if it's a draw at the end of the month, we're going to have to think of a tiebreaker. So that's... And I want you to join me tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I'll put the times up a couple of hours before we go live tomorrow, because I've got a special guest who's going to tell me how they got up the stairs at Graceland and into Elvis's bedroom. So that's a story. And then you can actually do a Q&A with this person if you want. Wait until he's finished his story, and then you can throw the questions at him, and he says he'll answer the questions. So that's a roundup of what's happening tomorrow. So I hope you will join me tomorrow for the live stream at the normal times, which I believe 7:30 in the UK, and I think it's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, half 2 East, and 11:30 a.m. on the West Coast. I hope I've got that right. Thanks, Greg. That's very kind. What is everybody going to be doing after they've finished watching this broadcast? Vincenzo, well, you haven't heard the story yet, so I'm going to say give him a chance at least, and hear him out, and then maybe you can fire some questions at him. Everybody can ask questions, That's good, Rob. Glad to hear that. Because if you didn't join me, I'd be talking to myself. If there was nobody watching this broadcast, or on a Sunday, I would be I'd be talking to myself. I met Anne Margaret several years ago and spent about a half an hour with her. Wow. That's very nice. I'm sure she was lovely. I'm sure she was lovely, Nina. Yeah, I think I'm going to watch some Elvis or listen to some Elvis. You need Elvis in your life at least once a day. You really do. Even when when the lockdown was on and we couldn't go anywhere, Elvis could kind of see you through it, his voice and everything. Jake, I think you're going to be singing gospel and Christmas stuff on your broadcast tomorrow. Is that right? Can't beat a bit of gospel, Elvis. Nancy says she agrees on the hair. Yeah, we were talking about the long hair on the rehearsal, and then the better hair on the broadcast one. But what about that basin cut he had, the fringe cut that he had? It just, for me, it just didn't suit him. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him down or anything like that. But it just didn't suit him. Just didn't suit him. Sorry. And he probably realized it after a while because he only had it for a short time. Milky White Way. Oh, now you're talking. And some of the outtakes of Milky White Way are great. Great. Yeah, that's right. Let's raise a Christmas cheer for all Elvis is correct. Yeah, we'll do a toast tomorrow. I'll toast you. I read that he had that cut because the hair was stinging his eyes, but surely the hair would sting in his eyes if it was down. If you had it up, it wouldn't really sting his eyes. I don't know. Yeah, that's right. He was on a liquid diet. Linda Thompson once asked him what he was his biggest flaw. He said self-destruction. That's right. Yeah, I heard her say that. Hey, JC. JC was a winner a few weeks ago in our quiz. Uh, Santa Claus is Back in Town is a great, great song. And when you think that they only cut it, they before they cut it, they wrote it in about half an hour. Lieber and Stoller went into a control room away from the recording studio and wrote it in about half an hour. Late 1976, that haircut was awful. Yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great, Vincenzo. I agree with you. Yeah, when he sweated, it fell into his eyes, so he cut it as a fringe. That's what Larry Geller said. Yeah, I know there was some talk about the dye in his eyebrows would run down, the sweat would run down into his eyes and cause iritis and so forth. Elvis's best hair was in 1970. Best one time hair, Aloha. Yeah, that's right. Well, his hair wasn't too bad in '75 either when he was in Huntsville and so forth. June, July time. Yeah, it was very good. The sideburns were a little bit too long and pointed for me in '76, '77. Yeah, they came down a long, long way. In fact, they came down so far that if he had just grown a little bit here, he would have actually had a beard again. Yeah, maybe it was Linda's haircut. Yeah, yeah. That Christmas album cover, blue background and mountains, 58 shot. There's another one where he's got the blue jacket on with the white stripes from Speedway as well. That was like the reissue. Yeah, Chris says about the long sideburns. I do think they actually got a little bit too long. We are coming at you now, baby. Yeah, it's amazing how they took out. Did they take out Bridge Over Troubled Water in the reissue of That's the Way It Is? Don't know why they did that. Yeah, Jake says he likes his hair in March '76. Yeah, I mean, we should all say what year. We should all type on the comments what was our favorite year for hair for Elvis. And I think I've got to say 1970. Definitely 1970. Opening night, just after he's had it styled and everything on August the 10th, absolutely brilliant. When he's backstage talking to the group before they go on, and the hair just looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah, they also took out I Just Can't Help Believing. I don't know what they were thinking, taking out I Just Can't Help Believing and Bridge Over Troubled Water. Since we're saying 1968 to 71, 1970, Jailhouse Rock, movie years. No. Actually, some of the hairstyles in the mid 1960s were, I thought, quite poor. I thought his hair was quite poor in Paradise Hawaiian style. 69, yeah. Some great shots of him on stage in 69, and his hair is just fabulous. That's a very good question. What sort of music would Elvis sing in the 1980s if he was alive? Sadly, we'll never know. 68 to 71, JC22 is somebody else is saying 68, 71. Yeah, that seems to be quite a popular period for his hair. Yeah, Greg, Change of Habit, 1969. That was a great haircut as well. Yeah, another one. Yeah, Clambake, his hair wasn't too good. In fact, Marty Lacker said he thought his hair was too high when they got married when him and Priscilla got married on the 1st of May 1967. He just thought his hair was too high. His hair looked definitely a lot different in Follow That Dream. In fact, if you see some of the shots taken around that time, it looks almost sandy blonde again, like he'd let the dye go out of it. And he also seemed to be wearing different hair styler as well, hair gel or hair lacquer or whatever. If you look at those photographs and you look at the movie, he definitely went through a big change in 1961, 62. And then he got it cut. It's very short again for Girls, Girls, Girls and for It Happened at the World's Fair. Yeah, it is brown. It's almost like a sandy blonde, isn't it, in Follow That Dream and Kid Galahad. His hair looked good in Jailhouse Rock. Blue Hawaii hair was good. 69. Yeah. Yeah, Doug, you're right. When he's interviewed in his dad's office in March 1960 after he came back from the army, his hair looks good. And on the Frank Sinatra special as well, his hair looks very good. Trouble with Girls. Yeah, somebody's giving a vote. Rob, you're giving a vote for Trouble with Girls. Yeah, Greg, I agree. He could have been bold, and he still would have looked great. Oh yeah, I agree. Don't get us wrong. We're just saying, what year or era we thought his hair looked the best, and I've gone for August 1970, with a special mention to Change a Habit. There's a great sequence in Change a Habit when he's doing rubbernecking. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I often think actually that his pre-army hair, between him coming out of the army and then getting the cut for GI Blues, it almost looks like because he was wearing the army hat most of the day, he's had it cut short here, but then he's let it grow long on the top to get away with it. It almost looks nearly too high in the Frank Sinatra special, and it's kind of wobbling around when he's moving his head, but it kind of stays in place. I would imagine he wasn't too happy that the first movie he had to do when he came out meant that he had to have an army haircut again. Yeah, apparently he did have wonderful hair. Yeah, lustrous hair, I think Larry Geller said. Thick, lustrous hair. A little thin on... No, I think he didn't say thick. He said lustrous, but a little thin sometimes, a little fine. Yeah, Vincenzo says that his sideburns were too long in 1976. 76 and 77. They were nearly touching, weren't they? Yeah, I always watch the when he's doing Stuck on You for the Frank Sinatra special, and he shakes his head like that and he kind of wobbles. It's great. It's great. Yeah, it's fun to watch. Yeah, it's hard to get him looking much better than Change of Habit, isn't it? Although, like I said, my favorite hair was 1970. He looked really fit in the Graceland interview, Tanya. Yes, he did. Really, really fit. I don't. I think sideburns are quite dated now, but they do suit some people. They do suit some people. Yeah, there was a big change. I know it's a change of habit, but there was a big change in his hair for Change of Habit, wasn't there? It was almost like he was experimenting, going in from the '69 to the '70s. He knew that the decade was coming to an end. Maybe he thought he'd experiment a little bit. Jake says he just dyed his hair for my tribute to Elvis. Well, I'll be watching, Jake. If I'm not watching live, I will watch on playback. Yeah, he looked good always. Yeah, that's right. I mean, even on a bad day, he looked better than anybody else. That's for sure. Okay, right. So, to recap one more time before I leave you all to enjoy your evening or your day, the main thing I wanted to say was please watch tomorrow. My usual live stream time of 7:30, 2:30 and 11:30, I believe, is the three main times. 7:30 in the UK, 2:30 East, 11:30 West. We'll be doing the quiz for fun, but we'll also got a guest who is going to tell the story of how he got up into Elvis's bedroom. And also, don't forget, if you're in the UK, there's a lot of Elvis stuff coming up on television, so watch out for that as well. So it's been fun, and we've had this supplement live stream today, just for a bit of a bit of party atmosphere, because Christmas is coming up and so forth. So don't forget to join me tomorrow for the live stream. As I said, there's plenty to see, and you can actually do a Q&A with my guest after he's told the story about getting up into Elvis's bedroom. Approach it with an open mind, and let the person tell the story first of all, as I knock the microphone off the stand. And then ask the questions you want to ask. So everybody's saying see you Sunday. I really hope you will. I look forward to it. I look forward to chatting with all you fans. It's great. It really is a lot of fun. So until tomorrow, take care of yourselves, and over and out.